Hello everyone, welcome back. In this lecture, we will talk about isometric projection. We will learn how to draw isometric projection in this 2D sheet as well as in isometric drafting. So here, what we have learned till now is orthographic projection, in which what we do is we have to project a 3D object in this 2D plane with the help of two dimensions. Suppose we have a vertical cylinder like this. For example, we have a vertical cylinder. Suppose just a minute. Let us assume this is our vertical cylinder. You can see this thing here. Okay, so this is a vertical cylinder. So if you see this thing, if you have to draw this thing in a orthographic projection, what you will do, you will draw a front view as well as you will draw a top view. So what we will do is here, like this is the reference line, and suppose this is 40 mm diameter, so we will draw a top view of 40 mm. Sorry, instead of 40, what we will do, we will take 20 radius. So this diameter is 40 mm, so this is 40 mm. Now this is our top view, because in top view we will have the circle and both top and bottom circles are of same dimension. So this is our top view, and out of this top view we will draw our front view. And if this let us assume this height is 60 mm, so this height of this vertical cylinder is 60 mm. So from the center I will draw a line up to the reference point and make a straight line of 60 mm length. Now in the top view we will have a circle, but in the front view we will have a rectangle. So from here again draw a line up to here, again do the same thing from here. So this is going to become our front view. So this is what we have done till now. This is our front view and this is our top view. So this is the presentation of this vertical cylinder. So this is what we have done in orthographic projection. Similarly, we have done multiple things. With this front and top view, we have tilted our body such that the central axis of this cylinder should make an angle of axis with HP. Suppose it is making 40 degree with HP or 40 degree with VP. So this is what we have done in orthographic projection. So the main thing in orthographic projection is front view and top view. Okay, so we have projected our object in 2D, 3D object in 2D plane with the help of two dimension. This is in 2D, that is why this is, if this is length, this is width. Similarly for the circle we will use polar coordinates to define, but this is in 2D, we do not have the thickness, that is why you can measure the length here and this way. So this is again in 2D. So now what we're gonna do in isometric is, again we are going to do, or we are going to plot the 3D object in a 2D plane, but with the help of 3-dimension here. For example, let us assume this little, just use I'm going to use a simple example. For example, I'm going to use suppose I'm going to draw a cube here. So what we will do is, here we are going to draw a cube like this, and again now I'm going to connect these. But if you draw this thing in orthographic projection, I've used first this rectangle, this one, then copied this rectangle, then just joined these corners. But here you can see this face is clearly visible, and this face, this one, first face, or you can say this is the front face. This face, which is visible in front view, is comparatively very bigger than this left one as well as the top face. You can see this front face is much bigger than this side face and this top face. You can see this one is much bigger than these two faces. If you compare them individually, this face is much bigger than this one, as well as this face is much bigger than this one. So that's the problem. This is what we have to keep in mind while doing the isometric projection in this 2D plane. So what we will do is first we will create a horizontal line again to make this this cube, to draw this cube. Again we will make a horizontal line. Now from any of the point on this horizontal line, create a line which should be at an angle of 30° with this reference line or this horizontal line. So again, just shift at the rate, keep the length as it is, and 30. Keep it as and make it 30. Okay. Now again create a line which should be at an angle of 30° with this, and if you measure it from here it will be 45°. Sorry, 150. So keep the length as it is, shift at the rate, tab 150. From this side it will be 150 and from here it will be 30. So you can check the angle with the horizontal line. Both the lines are at an angle of 30°. Now you can draw this one. For example, if this length is, let us measure this length is 37.2. So if this is a cube, so I'm going to use a length of 37.2. So just from here what we will do, there will be only several we have to draw in this. For example, from here to here I will take a length of 37.2 at an angle of 30°. So just shift at the rate, length should be 37.2, tab, angle should be 30. Now I have to make a vertical line which is 37.2. Again I will come back to this one like this. From the horizontal line downward, angle will be 30. So from here angle will be minus 150. So just shift at the rate, again length is 37.2, tab, angle will be minus 150. Make it, join it here. Do the same thing from here. Make a line, will be again with the horizontal will be at 30°. So from here it will be 150. Shift at the rate, length is 37.2, tab, angle should be 150 from the left side, from the right side. Now again draw a vertical line here and intersect with this one, this line, because this is at a distance of 37.2. So from here to here. Now again we need the top face. So from here again draw a line which will be at 30° with the horizontal from this side. So again shift at the rate and length is 37.2, tab, angle is 30. And now from here to here join this thing, because we know this line is of 37.2 mm. If you measure these dimensions, you can see this is 37.2, again this is 37.2, again this is again 37.2. You can see here, you can check it here, this one is again 30. So you know all these lines are at a all these lines are of 37.2 mm length. So and you can clearly see, visually you can understand this thing. This face is visually it is looking similar to this one and this one. All three faces are looking similar because they are at an angle of 30° to the reference line. So they are placed in such a way that all the faces are looking of same dimension. So this is one way to draw the isometric projection. What you have to make sure, draw a horizontal line first, then make a line which should be at a 30° to this side, as well as this line should be at a 30°. And this angle from here to here, this should be 150 degree, either 150 from here or 30 from here. Similarly, this thing either 130 from here or 150 from here. So if you see, there are certain angles which are going to be used here. Either line will be at a 30-degree angle or 60 or 90. See, this line is vertical to this horizontal line, so this line is at 90 degree. So either it should be at a 30-degree angle or 60 or 90 or 150. So this is one way of drawing this isometric projection. Then we have another way which is inbuilt in the software, which we called as isometric draft. So beside these commands, we have two more commands here. You can see here at the bottom, right to this orthogonal command, you will see this restrict cursor to specified angles. Or in other words, it is polar tracking. Its work is to restrict cursor to specified angles. And this command, there are two more commands which you are going to use. The first one is this polar tracking, and second one is this isometric drafting. If you activate this, you can clearly see some changes in this grid points. You can see the grid lines at the back side, this vertical and horizontal line. These are grid lines. If I click this isometric drafting, you will see, you will observe something. So these grid lines are, after clicking this isometric drafting, these grid lines are, you can feel like these are at certain angle. This whole sheet or whole grid is inclined at some angle. So if you scroll this thing to the right of this isometric drafting, there are three planes. So we have iso left, iso top, and iso left. See, initially it is iso left selected. So if you see here in the screen, you see all the grid lines are at certain angles. If this is iso left, if I make it iso right, so this rotation will be in the opposite direction. So just select this iso right first. Now you can see the rotation is in the opposite direction. Similarly, if I change it to the top, this is going to be like this. So what it means, what or when you have to use this line. Suppose in the question you have a front view and left view. Suppose there is a question in which we have provided two views. One is front view, another one is left view. So then what you have to do, you have to select the iso left plane. So which plane you have to use depends on the question. If in the question we have front or top view, then you have to use iso top, or if you have front view, right view, then you have to use iso right. So depending on the question, you have to select on which plane you want to do. So one thing is, so let us take the example of this one. So if you consider, suppose we have a cube to draw in this isometric projection. So either in the front view, top view, or left view, we will have a square. In all three views, we will have a square. So what we will do is, I'm going to draw this square again, this cube again. So length is 37.2. So what you will do, now you have activated this isometric drafting. Now you have activated the isometric drafting. Now one more thing you have to activate is this polar tracking. Just click this thing. What this thing do is, if you just scroll it up, you will see certain angles here. By default, it is selected 30, 60, 90, 130. Is it somewhat similar to the previous one? You can see all angles here are either 30, 90, 60, or 150. So this is the similar one. If I select this one, it means whatever, if I'm going to draw a line, it will automatically highlight the line. I've selected the restriction angle should be 30, 60, 90. So if I'm going to draw something, if I just move my cursor like this, so green light is highlighted at an angle of 30 degree, then 60 degree. You can see the green light or a green marked line, which will represent your line is now at an angle of 60 degree. Similarly, if I move to 90, then it will again highlight the green color. Similarly, 120, 150, 180. because we have selected the polar tracking at this angle 30, 60, 90. So whenever our drawing comes to these angles, either 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, green line will highlight you are at some angle from these 30, 60, 90. So we need to draw this thing. See, it should be at a 30-degree angle. It should be from here, it should be at 30-degree, and again this should be at a 30-degree from here, or 150-degree from here. So we will do the same thing here. Again, we will draw the same cube here. So here, draw a line which should be at 30-degree. So it is highlighted here. So I don't need to put any angle here. Just press the length 37.2. Okay. Now, again height will be 37.2. Now I have to move it back side. From this horizontal line, it should be at 30-degree. So it is already highlighted in the green light. So I'm just keeping my mouse in that green highlighted line. Now just put the length 37.2. Just make it, just connect it here. Okay. Again, do the same thing in this way. This is the green light. This is the correct angle. You know, this angle is also highlighted, but we know this should be at this angle. Either from the top side you can see 150 like this, or from the bottom it should be at 30. So this is the correct angle, 37.2. Now again, so in this way, what it will make you your ISO drafting very easy, because you know all the angles whatever you draw in this isometric drafting is somewhere it should be either 30, either 60, 90, or 120 or 150. It should be these angles. Other than these angles, there is not going a single line which is going to use any other angle than an idea which is going to use any other angle than these 30, 60, 90. So what we have done, we have selected this polar tracking. In this polar tracking, we have selected these angles. So now whatever you want to draw, you can draw. The green line will highlight the correct angle. This is 30-degree. It will highlight. You know, this time we need 30 angle from here. Instead of 30, you need 90-degree angle. So it all depends on you. There's no trick, just an observation. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to create a line, it will just provide you the highlight the specified angle. This is 30-degree. It should be in isometric. Line should be at 30 or 60 or 90 or 120. So it will highlight this is 30-degree. If you want to draw in this direction, if this is correct direction, you can draw this angle. You don't need to provide any angle here. It is already in 30-degree. You just need to provide the length 37.2. Okay, this is already at an angle of 30-degree. So you don't need to provide any angle here. So this is our cube in isometric drafting. Here the simpler thing what happens here, the simplest thing what we have done is, here we have to provide the length as well as the angle, but here we have started our we have enabled the polar tracking. So with the help of this polar tracking, we do not need to provide any angle here. We just need to provide the length, because we do have the polar tracking on. That is why our line is, if it is at 30-degree, the green line will highlight it is at 30-degree or 60 or 90, whatever angle we need. So you can see these three faces are looking very similar to each other, and in actual these three are of same dimension. If I just switch off this polar command, and now if I measure the length, so we have to use this line. So this line is 37.2. Again, this line is again 37.2, 37. So all lines are of 37.2, and the angle, if you create a horizontal line, or see, this is the horizontal line, just measure the angle. So angles will be, this is going to be 30. Again, this is going to be again 30. So again, this will be 30. If you measure this thing in terms of this line, so from here to here, it will be 150. So, okay. So this is another way to draw with the help of isometric draft. And which plane you have to reuse depends on the question. And question, if it is front view, if in the question front view and left view is given, then select iso plane left. Similarly for top view, iso plane top. Okay. Okay, one more thing is here. You cannot directly use the circle command here. Suppose if I have to draw it in the midpoint of this face, so you cannot directly use this circle command here. Okay. Instead of this is iso left. This is the left plane or left side, and this is iso left plane. So instead of this direct circle command, just go to this ellipse command and select this axis and end. Now from here you can see in the command line there is an isocircle. So select this isocircle now. Now provide the center point and provide the radius. Just extend it up to this edge. So now you can see this circle is on this face. If you use directly the circle command, it will not going to draw. If I make the radius up to this point, this is going to be like this. This is not correct. So what you have to do, you have to select this one, ellipse first, scroll this ellipse command, then go to this axis and select isocircle. Now you have to draw. Suppose now I have to draw this on the top face, but our plane is on the iso left. So, and I have to draw this circle on this this top face. So I need to select the iso top plane first, then go to the ellipse, select isocircle, then create an arc. So what I'm gonna do, just going to find out the midpoint. This is the midpoint. Now I'm going to draw the circle in the square, circumscribed in this square. So select this ellipse. Now select iso. Now select the midpoint and radius up to this point here. So now we will have a circle which is inscribed in the square. Similarly, if I have to draw this draw inscribed circle on this square, so I need to select this right side. So I need to select iso right plane. Now again, I have to provide the midpoint from here to here. Now select this ellipse first, axis and select the isocircle from the midpoint, draw up to this point. So this is the circle. And this way you can use this circle command here. Instead of directly using the circle command, use this ellipse one. Inside this ellipse, select axis and then select the isocircle. But on which face you want to draw? If you want to draw on this left face, select the iso left face first. Select this iso left plane first, then draw on this. If you want to draw on this top plane, then select iso top, then draw on the top plane. Okay, in this way you can make your drawings, make your isometric projection on the isometric drafting. So it will become easier on this software. Okay, thank you.